of all the things that kind of went wrong, is there one thing you could put your finger on that you're going to look back and remember the most on?
No, there'll never really be one thing. There's never really one certain thing. There's always different things that you can pinpoint, and yeah, it's definitely disappointing for us. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say there's one point that you can put it on.
But how do you evaluate this 8-8 season as a whole?
Say that one more time.
How do you evaluate and look back at this 8-8 season as a whole?
Yeah. First off and foremost, progress. Last year having 5 wins to this year making 8 wins. Definitely there's progress, and there's definitely situations to where, situation like yesterday where we had an opportunity to make the playoffs and be in the dance, and we just didn't take that opportunity. So definitely progression. We just have to learn to be a better team.
Hey, Buddha. I know you're saying there's progression. Do you and do your teammates look at it any differently? There's a lot of ways to get to 8-8. Obviously, you guys had a really nice start. It looked like the postseason was going to happen, and then it just kind of fell off at the end. Does that impact you the way it ended, as opposed to maybe if you guys had started slowly and ended strong to get to 8-8?
I mean, I don't know. It's definitely you're right. It's definitely different, just because, like you said, starting out hot and then losing games and winning and losing. So it's definitely kind of like a roller coaster. And yeah, that's how the season really went. It was a roller coaster, and you know, there's been certain games where just guys have to do their job, and certain games guys just wasn't doing their job, and we lost early. And of course, winning the games that we should have won definitely would have been able to help us think about the playoffs in the future. But for us, if you told me that one game, if you win that game, you'll make it to the playoffs, then I would take that. So, I mean, we had the opportunity to make the playoffs, and we just didn't make it.
Next up, Mark McClune, Kevin Zimmerman, Bob McManaman.
Hey, Buddha, for you personally, how frustrating is it to not get to the playoffs and not having been able to get there in your career?
For me personally, of course, I hate to lose. Ever growing up, even rock paper scissors. I don't like to lose, and in my career, whether it's high school or college, each and every year we progressed, and I definitely feel that this year, this career in the NFL, that definitely progressing as a player and progressing as a team. But yeah, like you said, I don't like to lose at all.
Hey, Buddha, just in your first year since you're a captain now, do you feel like you have to have maybe tough conversations or maybe be more vocal as far as finding answers why the consistency wasn't there? Or do you think just putting your head down and going to work, you guys can learn to get over those problems that you had this year?
It starts with the off season. Take your break and then get to working in the off season, and that's where it starts. And then when we get together as a team, obviously with COVID, we don't know how any of the off-season stuff is going to work, but it all starts, when people are starting to train. So that's where it starts, and then it starts with, your OTAs, your things to where you can develop those friendships, because each and every team is different. Each and every team is going to have different players. Yeah, there might be a group of players who are going to be there, but other than that, teams change each and every year. New relationships change, positions and players. So definitely have to just, find more camaraderie within that once, next year or once next season comes about. And for me personally, of course, talking more, is definitely something that, you know, of course I'm gonna want to do, just because I'm that guy 5th year in, you know, I'm that guy that everybody sees, you know. So definitely want to talk more for sure.
Buddha, what was it like when you saw Kyler hurt his ankle there early in that game, and what were you guys thinking and wondering? You know, for most of that game when he was trying to get it work done in and out of the locker room. What was that like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, on the defensive side of the ball, you know, you see K1 out, and you're just like, what happened to K1? Let's say an ankle, and you know, after that, for us, I mean, we can't really do anything. So for us, we just have to control. We can control, and that's what I was trying to reiterate to the defense is just control what you can control and let things take care of itself. Now, once you start thinking about, oh, Kyler's out. You know, your mind might change, your mood might change. You might mess up on a certain play because, you know, things are happening so fast. So for me as a leader on the team, a leader on the defense, I just stress that, you know, just control. We can control. Offense is gonna do their thing like they always do. Control what we can control and take it one play at a time. That's all we can do. So especially as a defensive player, that's all I can do.
Next up, Catherine Josh Craig.
Hey, Buddha, you've kind of touched on this a few times with all the progression questions, but how do you balance, you know, that you guys did get 8 wins after 3 and 5 the previous season, but also having been so close to the playoffs, not being happy with that? Just what's the balance for you personally of recognizing growth but not settling?
I mean, for me, kind of like a perfectionist, you know. So, of course, you understand that there's progression, but you also know that there's a lot more work to be done. There's a lot more things that you can do and certain players can do to elevate this team to, you know, get more W's. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Hey, Buddha, 2 questions for you. The first one is, where do you think you made the most growth this year, personally as a player? And then secondly, watching Hassan Reddick, what was it like to see him go from, you know, not really knowing what his role is going to be before the season to being, you know, a league leader in sacks and basically making his own mark for how much money he's going to make next year, that type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with Hassan, you know, a guy who in college was a pass rusher. So now here, he's finally being able to do what he has been doing, and you see what he does. So Hassan, you can just accredit to his hard work that he puts in, you know. Coming here as a rookie and trying to change your position, it's definitely, you know, for him probably was definitely different. So him just trying to do that within the first 2-3 years, and not, you know, not leaving his ego at the door, not telling coaches negative things, what he doesn't want to do, just listens to all the coaches, does whatever that they want him to do, plays at whatever position they want him to play, and he did it great. So him being the position that he was this year, it was definitely, you guys saw that spark in him. So I'm glad he was able to do that, and hopefully he's here next year. And for me, you said growing for me as a player. I would say everything. Whether it's, you know, getting guys aligned, whether it's knowing my job, whether it's knowing my job and knowing that the offense is going to try and do certain things because they don't want me to make plays, and knowing how to kind of mess with them, showing the post, knowing I'm going to go blitz, and so they're not counting me, you know. So certain things like that, I would say I grew tremendously, and definitely with the help of our coaches, our players, and, you know, our veteran players as well. So I would definitely say that as well.
Hey, Buddha, last night after the game, Coach Buckner tweeted out a picture of him and Larry, and kind of that started a firestorm on social media that Larry was retiring. Did you see that, or did you have a reaction to the potential of Larry retiring, or what happened last night?
Yeah, no, I didn't see that at all. So, yeah, I haven't talked to Larry. I don't know what Larry's doing. Of course, Larry is probably going to take his time to make his decision whether he, plays or not. But, Larry is the GOAT, a guy who's been here 16 plus years, a guy who's a leader on the team, and a guy who you can ask anything to. You can ask him questions on the field, you can ask him questions off the field. He's liable to help you with anything. He's a great guy. So definitely would love to have Larry. I would love to have Larry for my whole career because, Larry's just that great guy, that great person that you just want to be around. And, so I didn't see that on social media, but, I don't have a comment on what he does. So hopefully he stays, but, Larry is a grown man, 37, I think, right? 36. So, he's going to make his decision in his due time.
We'll wrap it up with the last two, Kent Summers, Catherine Fitzgerald.
What would you say to somebody in the media or fans who are advocating for a coaching change?
What I would say?
Mm-hmm.
I would say, this is Cliff's second year. You see the progress that we've made. He's a great coach. He's a guy who listens to his players, and he's just a great guy. He comes to work each and every day, early in the morning, works his butt off, trying to help this organization, trying to help this team each and every day. So that's what I would say. So.
Budda, do you have to do anything additional this offseason to better rehab your thumb or do anything else on that? And kind of tied to that with the Pro Bowl being Madden instead this year, how's your thumb going to affect video games for you?
Yeah, my thumb's all right. It's just, very sore just because, hitting and tackling, using my hands, definitely you get sore hands and sore fingers. And on top of, getting surgery on my thumb and being able to not wear the cast and finally wear a splint, a lot of those hits sometimes hurt too as well. So now that the season's over, just gonna give time to rest my body, rest my everything, and just try and get my strength back, and especially my fingers, because after the season, my fingers are always the things that are the most annoying. When you stub your toe and that toe just hurts that whole day, and it's just annoying. You can walk, but it's just annoying. So that's how my fingers are.